When I was sidewalk counseling outside Planned Parenthood during the 40 Days for Life, I noticed a little minivan kept driving around the block, and about the third time it drove around, it stopped not too far from where I was standing. And I noticed that the woman was motioning for me to come over. As I walked over, I noticed she was crying. She said, "I was here 3 years ago, and I walked in where you're standing. I took literature, and at the last minute I got up off the abortion table. And I want you to meet my 3-year-old daughter in the back seat." The women that have come out of Planned Parenthood post-ultrasound law with some of their images, they were very unclear. Not what I would be expecting to see on the ultrasound image for how far along they are in their pregnancy. And just recently we even had a lady who said the doctor the day before said he could see nothing. And the minute we started the ultrasound here in our mobile clinic, the baby was very visible, and the man that was with her was shocked to see that it had a head and arms and legs. And it all has to do with the ultrasound, and I think the ease that we're getting them in here, because women are more familiar with the fact that they have to have an ultrasound. I don't think that was ever really talked about much before. In fact, most of the general public didn't realize that an ultrasound was done before every abortion anyway. But anyway, it's more information out there, and so they're coming into the bus, I think, a lot because of the pro-life legislation that was passed last year and more education of the general public. And as she was laying on the abortion table in Planned Parenthood, she asked the nurse if her baby had a heartbeat. And thanks be to God, that nurse answered her truthfully and said yes. She immediately got off the abortion table and came into our bus. We set her up for an ultrasound here, and it's just amazing to watch these women's faces, especially those that have abortions scheduled the day we see them. Initially, they cover their eyes as we're starting the ultrasound and talking about the baby, which seems to do tricks and perform for their parents as we do the ultrasound, moving around, jumping around. They cover their eyes, start to peek out through their fingers, and are crying at the same time they're smiling. She was so very, very grateful that she had not continued with the abortion that day, and needless to say, she chose life. Ultrasound law was instrumental in increasing our clientele in the mobile clinic, because, like I said, women want to come here for the free ultrasound, thinking they can use it at Planned Parenthood, but end up changing their mind while they're in here. One of the hardest to learn lessons from pro-life work, I think, is the long-suffering aspect of it. Because initially when you get involved in pro-life work, you want it to happen right now. And we have to remember that God loves everybody on the abortion side as much as He loves you and me.